Yes, it has to be done in 20 minutes. That's sarcasm.
Okay. So the game is in simulate because I just got done simulating it. So I need to move it back to selected, exit out. Selected viewport is the normal one. There's a couple of others. So if the resolution was decent. So in the content folder, how I got this to pop up is just with the little left. You can also get there by selecting the left content right here. So I'm now in the content, and I need to go to the third person BP folder, because BP stands for blueprint, then blueprints, and then this is the character blueprint. This is actually just being dragged out here, and it's what you're playing as, the character. So if I double left click, I'll open up the character blueprint, and then y'all will probably see this or something like it. And these are blueprint nodes. They're just squares, is what I call them, with information. Micah's going to probably judge me here in a bit, because I'm going to say something wrong.
How is it listening?
Well, when you do listen, you'll be like, oh, this guy's a fool. So you can go to the viewport tab and actually see your character in action. So if you add a sword to his hand, this is how you would like add it. You know, you can go to the top, add a cube or for whatever reason, and then put it on his head. You know, now he has a hat. So if you go to the event graph, this is actually the sprint function right here. It took me like 5 minutes. So what left shift is the input key to do that.
I'll just recreate it.
Yeah. So to do that, you right click, and then like you can scroll down to inputs, then mouse input, or there we go, mouse events. Or you can just type it, which is better. Then left shift. So now you got your left shift function. So on pressed, what does it do? You want it to sprint. So there's a couple ways of doing this. My favorite way is timelines, because I love timelines. So to get a timeline, you just type add timeline, and it's going to be overwhelming because you can see how many there are. Just like, don't expect to like learn all these in like a day, because I don't even know probably half of them, and I've been working with it for a year now. So you do add timeline, and then you can double left click to open up the timeline editor, I guess, and then you can left click add float track. So this is a float variable, and then you want to add 2 points to the graph by holding left shift, left click. So we want 1. So basically a sprint is switching between 2 different speeds. The default speed is 600 on a float value, and then we want it to go a little bit faster. So something like, let's go real crazy today. We'll go 2000. So we want the transition from the normal speed to the sprint speed to be pretty fast. So I would do half a second or a second. It really depends on the game again. So you want the first you want the first value to be your walking speed. So 600 is the default speed, and then you want the second value to be the sprint speed, so 2000. And then you can look at the graph, see it creates this line, and then you can go back to here, and then you want to set the walk speed. So we can just copy and paste this, or to get it you have to get your character movement, which is where the speed is, max walk speed, and then you just drag off of it, and then you type max walk speed set, because you want to set the value, not get the value. Then you want the timeline to update the value, and then this is the float track we just made. and this is what switches between the two different speeds. And then a print string prints it to the screen for testing purposes and debugging. And so it will get the float value and print it to the console. Or is it console?
It prints it to the log and the screen.
The log and the screen. And then so there's no duplications. I'll delete my old sprint. And it should work. There we go. Super fast. And then I forgot one thing. On release, we want it to reverse the sprint speed, so you slow down. So you see the value, it goes from 600 to 2000, and then if I let go, it slows back down to 600. So we're Sonic, we're Mario. Sonic, Mario. Boom. And that's a demonstration of blueprints. Quite overwhelming.
Any questions on that, you guys?
Where do you get the character movement from?
So there's two ways to do it. You can just right click and type character movement. Oh my god. And so it's at the bottom, get character movement, or you can just left click and drag character movement under the components and get it. And so basically any value that's in the character movement, this, you pull from here and you can get anything from this list. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So the reason we can't just get max walk speed is because it's in the character movement, so we have to pull from character movement and get max walk speed. Because if we just type it, it actually may pop up. No, so it doesn't. Because it's like, well, what is max walk? And so you have to tell it specifically, oh, it's from the character movement.
Okay.
Any other questions, you guys?
You can put that video up too.
Yep. That video was recorded and will go up on the YouTube channel.
Well, I want some YouTube revenue then.
What do we have, like 500
No.
subscribers?